David's a public servant who thinks he's an entrepreneur, a DC kid who thinks he's from San Francisco. Let's talk about the genome.
Thank you, Dave. This is me, David Scott Hale. It says so right here on my birth certificate. Born December 29th, 1970 in Providence, Rhode Island. This was the first of many things I was told early in my life that shaped my view of who I am. These are my parents. My mom's a nurse. My father was career Navy and Civil Service. With my love of all things tech, it's no surprise I ended up at the National Institutes of Health. What can I say? I take after my parents, and I'm adopted. It was my father's shipmate in the Navy who told him about a child up for adoption who was diagnosed with a heart condition and would probably need surgery before he was a year old. My parents decided to adopt me anyway. Because of my diagnosis, the agency discounted the adoption fee from $3,000 to $25,000. My parents said it was the best $25 they ever spent. They also had very little information. They knew my maternal grandmother was Narragansett Indian, which led to some really inappropriate baby pictures. That's a tomahawk. This is DC. That's like giving a kid a gun. So it turned out the diagnosis was false. I was fine. The only thing I suffered from was lack of information. So growing up, doctors asked my parents, is there a family history of this or that? And they said, well, we don't know. David's adopted. So I guess that's why I became interested in science. I've always been looking for those answers. So when I joined the National Library of Medicine, I jumped at the chance to get involved in Native American outreach. I spent time on the reservations, talked with the elders, and I learned that being Native American is a lot more than just being born on the res. But that didn't answer my questions about my medical history, so I turned to personal genomics. This is how it works. You spit in a vial, they sequence your genome, and the results tell you about your disease risks, your traits, and your ancestry. But not in the state of Maryland. Maybe if your doctor orders it and the results go in your medical record, what good does that do you? So I did a little bit of searching and eventually found notes from the Maryland State Insurance Administration's work group on genetic testing. Predictive testing alters the individual's proclivity to purchase insurance. Insurers are concerned if individuals have more knowledge of their risk than the insurers. Screw this, I'm going across the border to DC. I called my friend Ted Etan and said, hey Ted, can I order a genetic test kit to your house? Maryland won't let me. He's like, sure, whatever, which was kind of cool because Ted is a doctor. 2 weeks later, we met at DuPont Circle and I had my test kit. I did my spit test in the parking lot of the post office, and it took a lot of spit to fill that vial. 2 weeks later, I had my results. So when I logged onto the website, the first thing I clicked on was my ancestry. European DNA is blue, Native American is orange. When I looked at this, I realized there's not a snip of Native American DNA in my body. It was a moment of spiritual crisis I'll never forget. I'll also never forget the words of the Blackfoot elder that pulled me back from the edge. Being Native American is a lot more than just being born on the res. He's right. We're more than the details of our birth. So here's my surrogate family medical history, complete with disease risk, carrier status for conditions I can pass on to my children, and some things I already knew. I have dark hair. I like caffeine. I have a predisposition to addictive behavior. Yeah, I didn't need genetic testing to tell me that. When World of Warcraft started measuring my time in game in months, that was really all I needed to know. But some positive changes did come out of this. I travel a lot from work. When I found out I had 3 times the risk of economy class syndrome, you know, blood clots in your legs on long flights, I started paying for the economy class upgrades myself. So now when I travel, I'm more rested, productive, and most important, happier when I'm working. I also found out I am a slow metabolizer of caffeine, so it lasts longer. So now I understand college. I also found out I have an elevated risk of heart attack if I have too much. So I still drink as much coffee as I used to. I just drink it all half calf. I also found relatives by association of our DNA. I found a 4th cousin who traces her Portuguese ancestry, which I also have, to Hawaii. And in Hawaii, the Portuguese invented the ukulele. So maybe it's genetic that I play the ukulele. But regardless, it's my life's choices that brought me here tonight. Genetic testing took something away from me that someone else gave me. It took the connection away, but it gave me the freedom to realize I can be whoever I want to be. Thank you.